Hey guys, hope everybody's doing well as always. So in this video, I wanted to talk about adversity. Adversity, not on a personal level, but on a world scale. And so much things that have been going on over the past couple of years and more recently in Europe. It's a really unprecedented time, right? A time that multiple disasters are happening all at once, and maybe the world has possibly never seen anything like this. So it's a very interesting, to say the least, time. Now, over the past 2 years, the whole world's been decimated by COVID-19, and not really COVID-19 hasn't done the damage. It's been the people's response to the COVID-19 that's done most of the damage. Most of the heartache and the hardship comes from the lockdowns and the loss of jobs and the mandates and all of these things. And COVID is also causing problems and deaths and things like that. So it's everything mixed in together over the past 2 years has really, it's decimated world economies at the end of the day, right? World economies, the response to COVID has decimated world economies, which can be, if we look at history, just as, if not more dangerous than any pandemic that's ever hit us. Like poverty and all of these things cause more deaths than all the viruses of the world put together. So that's something to consider when people are fearful of this virus, that the alternative, the response, can be much worse. Logically, guys, these are just facts that can't really be refuted based on political opinions. So there's that to consider. And then more recently, the European situation with Ukraine and Russia and the rest of the world, because this has the potential to reach us all, right? It's going to reach us all economically with sanctions and things going on. When our economies are already pretty weakened from COVID, economically, things in all of our countries, all across the world, are going to get more expensive because of the sanctions in place. And that's a small price to pay compared to the Ukrainian people, but yet it's still a price to pay, right? So it could also spill over. This is another thing that could happen into a larger scale, more world-orientated war. And it's growing more increasingly likely that that's going to be the case as time goes on. The more that the Western world and the European Union and everyone get involved with helping the Ukraine, the more likely the Eastern world and the Russian world will push back, right? Excuse me. So that's a real possibility that can happen. So guys, what are we looking at here overall, right? It's a decimation of viral proportions across the world with COVID-19, and the response to COVID-19 at an economic level has been, bad for all economies worldwide. And then a war erupts in Europe for the first time in a very long time. There's been small wars, but full-scale war, right? Which sanctions have also caused economic hardship. And then we are looking at a possible world-scale war on top of that. And in Australia, on top of that, we're flooding right now. So that's just Australia, though. I'm talking more world-scale really here. So really the question remains is, what have you done to prepare yourself for such hardships? What have you done? We tend to, in the Western society, in the Western world, and not just the Western world, but I know the Western world because even though I'm a Southerner in Australia, we're classified as a Western world, when really we should be classified as the European world, because we're still owned technically by England, right? But we are classified as the West, I guess, because we're a democracy. Yeah, so being a democracy, I guess this is the reason why we're classified as the Western world. We tend to fall into this comfort, right, of everyday hardships affect everyday people all the time. But we have a more comfortable life than our ancestors did. We have a more comfortable life than a lot of people, in the Arab world, for example, have, and not the entire Arab world, of course. And I'm not making generalizations, but there are countries that struggle in the African world. There's a lot of countries there that struggle. People that just want to know where to get water from on a daily basis. These people are more hardened and toughened because they have to be, and they understand that. People in the West have had it so good for so long that we've weakened, and we've weakened to the point that we're just happy with our 9-to-5s, and we don't feel like anything's ever going to change, and we actually despise change, and we don't want change, and most people will not bend to change, and instead of bending, they will sink. So it begs the question in my mind anyway, is what will it take? Look at all the things we've just been through and the things we're about to go through. What will it take for people of the West and across the world to wake up and realize that they need to take their own fate and their own destiny into their own hands? Your 9-to-5 job is not promised tomorrow. It's not the most secure thing to have like it used to be in the industrial age. We don't live in the industrial age anymore. We live in the technological age. So use technology to better yourself in your position. What will it take for people to realize this? And I know most people watching this video sort of realize this already, because you're here most likely because you want to have a look at the technological revolution. You want to be involved in it. You're not too sure how to get involved in it or what to do. You may have tried things in the past and failed at them. You may be skeptical of things, but not trying at all, or just being too afraid to try because of past failures or something like that, is not the right way to go. Like, look at everything that I've just mentioned at the start of this video. All of the hardships that we've seen in the world, the uncertainty, the disreliance on your 9-to-5 jobs. You can be closed down at any moment. Right through this entire pandemic, guys, I've been paid, right? And I'm not doing that, not saying this to big note or anything, but I've been paid more than ever right throughout this entire thing. When they say the rich get richer when hardship comes, it is true. Now, guys, I'm not rich, right? I'm pretty wealthy, but I'm not rich. And I'm only wealthy because I figured this out a long time ago. And I said, I don't care how many times I fail, I'm going to take my own destiny into my own hands, and I'm going to go all in or not at all. You're either all in or you're not in it at all, right? So I guess the message here is we need to wake up as a people. We need to understand that we have the ability in today's day and age to take our destiny into our own hands. Yes, we will fail. Even when you work with a coach such as myself or my team, you might fail. This is part of business. Nothing is promised. This is why it's hard, and it hardens you and it toughens you and it strengthens you, because every day you face a new adversity in business and you learn to overcome these hurdles. You learn to think objectively, to see things outside of the box. You learn to become a better, bigger, different version of yourself when you overcome these obstacles on a daily basis and you get into business. Then when big hardships happen, you've already practiced for it because you've overcome all of the little things along the way, right? When the COVID hit and the lockdowns and everything, I actually didn't change a thing about my life. I just went along as normal, and then as time went on, my profits started increasing because more people were at home and they needed to read books, and you know, I had a book business, so people bought more, and it's just common sense, right? And then other people started waking up, so they were coming into my coaching business, right, to learn how to build book businesses and make passive income and take their destiny into their own hands. So guys, that's the question I propose to you today. When will be enough? When will be the time that you just say, you know what, I'm all in or I'm not at all. I'm going to go and do my 9-to-5 and just forget about these hopes and dreams, or I'm going all in and I'm going to take my own destiny into my own two hands, and I'm going to make a difference in my life and my family's life. And because guys, at this time when the world is going to crap, it is the rich that are safe, right? The wealthy people that have resources at their fingertips. And don't hate on them, because they built that. They made that decision, just like I did. We made this decision many years ago that we will never be average. We will never be normal. We will overcome hardships. We will overcome all of the things that come our way that try to stop us, the brick walls that we run into daily. So when we're in a position like this, we have resources, we have opportunities, right? We have things that we can pick from. We have countries that we can go to. We have places that we can be safe, right? We can take our families. We can always consistently make an income no matter where we are in the world. We have assets in all different things, all different currencies, different exchanges, different cryptos. And that's because we put ourselves in this position. Nobody gave it to us. We made that decision a long time ago. And guys, all I have to say today is really, when will you make that decision? Will you make that decision? All in or not at all, guys? All in or not at all? This is from the heart, this video, because I want to see more people be in this position. I don't want to see people struggling, heartache, heartbreak, war, famine. It's just the reality of being a human being on this planet. And you can take steps, actions that might take years to build, but better start now than never, right? Better start now than never. Anyway, guys, we do have a program that can help you with this. It's called the Period Time Publishing Program, where we teach people how to publish public domain books and make a pure passive income in the form of royalties on Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing. It is a passive income business. Once you publish books, you're paid forever, and it is a legitimate company. For the next 30 days, 29 days now, we're running. We donated yesterday. We donated $10,000 to the Ukrainian people for displaced families. Our company and all of our students put into this, right? So what we want to do is we want to raise another $10,000, and we're going to donate $108 for every new student that joins us over the next 29 days, right? It's a 30-day donation challenge that we put into place, but one day is already gone by. And we'll donate $108 because that will actually shelter 8 full families in Ukraine. $108. And so for every student that comes in, we're going to donate that. So guys, now's a great time to make the choice. And you've really got to make the choice. It's either you're all in or you're not at all, guys, you know. And it will be tough. It's a hard road, entrepreneurship. But that's why the benefits, that's why we are not lucky. We made this for ourselves. We made this for our families. And now we have the opportunity to do things for others. Like we donated $10,000 yesterday to the Ukrainian people. And my company couldn't really afford that. We're not in profit yet. We're only a year in, right? So usually, you know, it's a three-year plan to get us into profit. But it doesn't matter, because even though we couldn't really afford that, we could do it. We had the opportunity to do it, and we helped people. 92 families we sheltered yesterday with that donation. So guys, make the decision. The time is now. Better now than never, guys. All right. Hope you all have a good day, and talk to you.